you doing today? Jeff here, no cutscenes, back with another Fallout 4 settlement build video. And, of course, following in my recent survival mode series, we got a survival mode bunker that is really easy to build, doesn't use a lot of resources, and I think looks pretty cool. Yeah, it basically gives you enough room to, sleep 4 or 5 people, so you can have it as kind of like even like a main settlement base. You can put some guard posts up there, some turrets, has enough room for all your crafting materials, and maybe, a couple of trading posts, stores for weapons, armor, clothing, whatever the fuck you want to put in there. And I've got this one built here already lit up, already pretty much completely done, but we're just going to go through kind of like a let's build and just build it from the start. It's maybe 10, I think maybe 13 minutes actually, and yeah, really about 2 minutes here is just me showing you kind of like a little preview tour. And of course, I just built this really quickly just to show you, kind of decorated it, but again, we have this basement here where you're actually going to enter, and just a little bit of storage. Of course, we'll be able to put a generator down there to actually power everything. Now, I'm going to actually, of course, do a full survival mode playthrough where I focus more on settlement building and building an empire. I don't know if I'm going to do like an enslavement build, just because that might be a little too dark, but I think I'm just going to mostly focus on, of course, building. Now, I haven't decided if I'm going to use Sanctuary as my main base just because it is so far out of the way, or maybe Hangman's Alley just because it's so central and very close to Diamond City, so if I ever need to go buy things, I can always just go, right to Diamond City from Hangman's Alley. Again, let me know what y'all think, but for right now, we're going to go ahead and build the bunker. And as you can see, it's got some excellent places to put all your crafting workbenches, your stove, your chems, weapons, armor, whatever. Alright, so let's go ahead and we'll get into it. So, got this easy open space here at Sanctuary. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to start with our concrete wall. Now, you want to use the doorway, and you want it to be a little bit above the ground, a little bit into the ground, but not like resting on top of it. You can do that if you want, it's just I found it to be cooler because, again, you can use the multi-select eventually to move everything. So go ahead and place one of these windowed ones, the one that has like the grating. And now this is important because you're going to need one of these smaller concrete wall pylons actually to give yourself some room, because you'll see later that it's not going to work unless you have that. So place one of the pylons there, then place the angled wall. It'll snap into that pylon perfectly. And now you want to place one of the curved ones directly off that angled one. Go to your floor section, find the curved wall, or find the curved floor, excuse me. Place that up there. Because this is actually going to drop down a little bit from up top, it's not going to be exactly flush with the other one, but that's okay, as you'll see here. Now, you're going to actually want to place that 1x1 floor piece that I had there for a second. I was just looking at an earlier video, sorry there. But yeah, you want to actually place that there because we're going to actually end up using one of the wooden walls, like one of the little shack wall and floor or roof, whatever the fuck they call it, up there anyway, as kind of like a little walkway. It's not going to be a doorway or anything, but yeah, you'll see it eventually. Now, go ahead and place one of the shack upper floors. I wanted to use the wood ones just so that it gives you a little bit of variety. You can always use all concrete, whatever, but just because you need the shack stairwell to actually make the little, I guess, little, stairwell there by itself, you can always use the actual wood stairs, but I like using this shack stairwell just because it works. It fits perfectly up there, and we're going to go ahead and use one of the, what are they called? The shack wall and roofs. I don't know why they don't call them all the shack wall and roofs. They call them, some of them walls, some of them shack wall and roofs. It's very confusing. But yeah, we're going to use that one there so you're actually able to walk up. And then here, go ahead and use one of the 1x1 shack floor pieces with some of the railings on the outside, just to give it, again, a little bit more variety. Now, we don't want to make it so that our bunker is too exposed so that people can see into it, of course, if we ever get attacked, but we're going to make it so that we have a little bit of gappage, a little bit of windows, and just go ahead and follow what I did there, where you kind of place that little shack wall and roof, and then the shack wall and corner piece to the side, just so that it's easy and it looks good. Now, you want to do the same thing on this side here with the corner piece, and then the wall, or the shack wall and roof, again, like they should be named. And because I know that we're going to actually place some stairs here, go ahead and place more of the smaller floors, the 1x1s here, and we're going to use this shack wall and roof, or again, wall. They need to rename this shit. But we're going to use the one that's completely flat because we're actually going to be able to walk up top it, and we don't want to have it just like I don't know, hanging off the side with these smaller ones, it would look funky, you know. All right, so go ahead, we'll place the railings there because we know we're going to use these railings as well. We're not going to have any walls or anything, just because again it would look stupid. It just wouldn't make any sense. Find your shack stairwell, go ahead and use it because this will allow us, of course, to get, you know, a perfect what is it, flush piece up top. You can just use the shack upper floors, but I just like using the stairwell so that it gives us a little bit more access to work around. If you're doing survival, you're going to want to use just one of the actual wood staircases, not even the shack stairwell, because you don't want to use up all your resources. But since I already had one there, you can just go ahead and do that. Now, use the stairs here. Perfect. It gives you enough gappage where actually somebody can walk up there. You can have your settlers up there. But since this is mostly going to be for your crafting area, it's okay if they don't walk up there, but it will actually allow them to. So either way, you were pretty much set. Now, we want to have this, like, there's that little gap that I showed you again with the power, or with the concrete pylon, that little small one there. Now, I wanted to make, again, a little bit more variety, so we're going to go ahead and use that 2x2, the one that looks like all the plywood, and then we're going to use the shack of roof there, the one that's completely flat, and so it looks like the shack upper floor. Now, go ahead, place one of your concrete walls where it snaps on the side here. You don't want to use the doorway just because that would defeat the purpose of having this little walkway here. And basically now, it's pretty much complete as far as this little area. So you got a nice little lookout post. You can, of course, if you want, like I'm going to do probably, I'm going to actually make that a guard post area where I'm going to have some supports and have some of that guard post hanging off the side. Yeah, so that's just up to you what you want to do there. And now here we're going to place some more upper floors just so that it is uniform all the way around. And I placed one of the concrete ones just, you know, again, it's all about variety. You don't want it to be too static or too similar and it just looks like, you know, you didn't put any time or effort into it. You want it to be lore friendly. You want it to look like it could actually fit in Wasteland. Now, I do that even with the railings here where I have them just, again, not uniform all the way around. And of course, you can always do doubles, of course. I just said of course twice, but you can always do doubles if you want. But I just like using these double railings because, again, I'm just showing you what you can do with this. Now, it doesn't have to be completely different all the way around, but you want to make sure that it's not all those double railings the entire way around. Now here, we're going to make it so that you can actually see out up top, right above where the doorway is. And, you know, eventually if you want to use one of the powered doors, one of the powered concrete ones, like I probably will, please go ahead and do that. But just for this purpose, I didn't want it to be, you know, a 30-minute long video. But what I tried to do here is just place it down so I can show you that in order to place one of those bigger walls, you're going to actually need to place one of these end walls here first before you're even able to place this, I don't know what they even call it. Yeah, the doorway, just the bigger walls. You know what I mean. Not the flat ones, the flush ones, the ones that actually stick out a little bit. If you didn't place that end wall there, it just wouldn't work. Now, we'll go ahead and place a railing here so that it actually looks pretty good, like it's got some stopping. You know, of course, if you ever get attacked, you can just crouch down. You're good. Nobody's going to hit you. And now we're just going to finish off the basement. Now, I had it where I had the basement kind of like, or the first floor sticking out a little bit from the basement. I just wanted to make this a little bit different than my original build, where I actually kind of made it completely to the edge. And as you'll see here, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use one of these little, they need to call them pylons. That's what they're pylons. They're not walls. But what I do is I actually wanted to make like a little lookout hole, like a little keyhole or whatever. I don't even know what it's called, like a gunner hole, or yeah, we'll call it a gunner hole. A place for one of my gunners to shoot. Now, I'm probably going to end up putting a guard post down here too, and, you know, maybe put it up on a little stairs or a little support platform just so that it looks over top. But what you can do is you can kind of just, you know, guesstimate, use your eye to figure out where exactly this is going to be. If you want to make it go down a little bit, and of course you want to make it as flush as possible. So again, just follow what I'm doing here, and eventually what we're going to actually do is we're going to use one of the full wall pieces, one of the really long ones, to actually make it a full length. So now here, of course, we're going to need to make that perfect. We're going to use one of the pylon pieces here. We're going to use one of these, just so again it's very visible from the bottom here if you want to use it as like a, not a panic room, because of course people can see into it, but more like a, just an area where you can shoot at. Now, concrete again is super finicky. It just gets super annoying sometimes where like the half wall piece, because of how this is situated, it just won't snap sometimes. So what you're going to see me do here is I'm going to place this concrete wall, the half piece, right where it snaps, but for some stupid fucking reason, the other full wall pieces don't snap onto it. Now, I don't know if this is just because of I've already built up top and maybe it just won't snap if there's something above it, but it'll snap to the other pieces, like those pylon pieces, if you just place 4 of them, because the half wall piece is 4 of those pylon pieces long. So yeah, I'm just going to eventually, or right here actually, go ahead and take them away, put 4 of these down, they'll snap onto each other, and then this piece, the concrete wall, the full length one, will snap onto it. So place 1 more so that it's 4 down. See, now it'll actually snap. I don't know why the other ones don't, but what I want to do here is kind of do the same thing, but with the lower pylon. Now, I'm going to actually go ahead and take away that concrete wall that I just placed there, because I could have just, done 8 of these, because that's, again, how long a full-length wall piece is, but I decided to make it a little easier on myself. Since I know that I'm going to have to go ahead and basically remove this anyway, I knew that it was going to be 2 off there on the side, and then just 1 of the full-length wall pieces. And basically, I'm just going to put where that other 3-barred concrete wall, where I had it before, snap to the edge. Check to make sure that this is kind of flush. And again, the good thing is, it won't snap up if you have it far enough down. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I like how that looks. Of course, maybe, put one of the Nuka-Cola machines or one of the milk machines onto the side, or even one of the concrete wall pylons, just so that it gives me a little bit more area to kind of move around. But yeah, now we can go ahead and replace the 4 pylons, the 4 1x1s, whatever you want to call them, with one of the half wall pieces, because that'll snap, and because we already have that other wall, the 3 barred wall there, it's not going to move. So basically, again, I kind of changed it where initially I had that wall piece right there as a half wall piece. I just did a full wall piece so that it'll actually look a little bit, like it's supported as opposed to just hanging off. We place our door. And of course you want to make it like a big old strong ass metal door. Please definitely go ahead and use my technique from before where I showed you how to do it with the powered door. Completely up to you. Now you want to go ahead and of course make it so that there's actually some floor under here, and then you can actually use the multi-select tool, move it all around. But that's it. Pretty easy. Like I said, maybe takes 10, maybe 11 minutes to build. It's a 13-minute total video, or 14 I think. But yeah, now go ahead and decorate it to your heart's content. Put it as like a full-on bunker, barracks, whatever. Make it your own personal home. Enslave some people. You can even have this as like your full-on settlement, because you could just put some of those potted plants, or the plant potters, whatever they're called, and put some mood fruit, whatever, all the way around it. And yeah, cool. You got a place to look out. See who's coming in. So thanks for watching, y'all. Let me know what you want me to do for the next one. Peace. See ya.